Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now.
We are joined by the great pollster, John McLaughlin, who helped President Trump be elected president in 2016, get more votes than any president in history in 2020. And hopefully his work is again going to get Trump back in the White House. John McLaughlin, the great pollster, welcome back. How are you?
It's great to be here.
Listen, John, I don't know if you heard, I had a little bit of a freak out. I'm just getting worried about Kamala. I'm hearing that the campaign is down in the dumps for a bunch of different reasons. J.D. Vance, I don't know. But look, cheer me up if you can, but give it to me straight. What's going on with this campaign and the numbers?
Well, we put out a national poll a couple of days ago, and when you think about it, we did a poll right before the debate with Biden, and we put it out June 26th, and Trump was leading Biden 46-44. So we're up 2 points nationally, which is a lot better than 2016, where we were never ahead in the national popular vote, or 2020. It was always an electoral state play. So okay, we're up 2 points over Biden. Biden bombs in the debate. And all the Democrats are saying, he's too old, he's got to drop out. And then Trump survives, by the grace of God, an assassin's bullet. We have a unifying convention in Milwaukee the following week where all the Republicans come out united. It looks so good against Biden. Biden drops out and handpicks Kamala Harris as his replacement. All the Democrats are singing Kumbaya. And the poll we released 2 days ago, Trump's leading Harris 47-45. 2 points.
That's so tight. That's not good enough, is it? I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, yeah, hang on for a second. But think of all the things that have happened, all those historic twists and turns. Trump's base is rock solid. He's still up 2 points over her, in spite of the 2 weeks of great coverage she's gotten, right? You talk about coronation, right? Where her favorables are up because, you put on CNN, you put on MSNBC, you put on the major networks. This is great. And she's signing on board some very smart people. David Plouffe today, they've signed him. He was Obama's campaign manager. They've signed him on board.
I heard they're paying him $10 million for 3 months' work. Does that sound right?
I wish I could get that. Don't you wish? But it's like, probably. I mean, they have lots of money. But the reality of this is, in spite of all that, Trump's still leading. And, okay, so our African-American vote compared to Biden went down from 28 to 18, and our Hispanic vote went down 4, but we went up among white voters and rural voters. Rural areas were winning 62 to 33. So Trump is, when it gets back to the issues, when it comes to reducing inflation, when it comes to securing the border, when it comes to ending the endless wars, keeping us safe, when it comes to ending crime and getting us safe, funding the police, we're going to win. Now, the difference is she's flip-flopping like crazy. She's always been against fracking. Now, all of a sudden, she's for fracking. She has always been the border czar that never went there. And all of a sudden, she said, we've got to do something to crack that, some sort of asylum policy. She attacked Trump on the border, saying he blew up the deal that they were going to do. Well, that deal allowed 2 million illegal immigrants, almost 2 million illegal immigrants, to still come into the country. They'd lie about it anyway. And when it comes to, you look at today, unemployment's up, because they're looking to say, interest rates are still high, inflation is still high, unemployment's going up. The markets are taking a hit today.
It's interesting. The media, they pretend and a lot of people pretend, we want to talk about the issues. We want to talk about substance. We want to talk about what's important. The media especially don't want to talk about any of that stuff. It's more fun to talk about the intrigue, the gossip, the latest gaffe. Trump said this, all that stuff. As traditionally, that's what the media is about, not substance. Look, you said that we have a solid base, and I agree, and I love it. I'm part of that base, and I love MAGA. But I also hear this. We have a solid base, but maybe there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling for Trump. Tell me if that's true, and tell us what a ceiling actually is in this context.
Well, a ceiling's if we're up 47, 45, like my poll. By the way, Trump probably likes Rasmussen Reports better today because they have us up 5. And Mark Penn, who is Hillary Clinton's pollster, who does the Harvard-Harris polls, has us up 4. So he probably likes those polls better today. But that's a national popular vote. And there's still like 10% undecided, or, Kennedy in our poll went down from 10 to 8 because some of the Democrats went back to her. That ceiling point is the undecided that's saying, who's going to make my life better? And the difference for us was, compared to like going way back in history, Ronald Reagan. When Reagan debated Jimmy Carter in October, all of a sudden the closed polls went to a landslide for Reagan.
Okay.
He won
Just
by
ask,
7 points.
let me ask you something though. The ceiling thing. Is that, I'm worried that like, this is what how it's explained to me. All the Trump votes that Trump can get, he's already got. And everything else is locked in. That's wrong, right? I'm wrong about that, or they're misinformed.
That's not true. What you've got is you got roughly 8 to 10% of the electorate that's undecided, and 80% of them, because in this poll that I'm talking about, 75% said the country's on the wrong track. That's the highest we've ever seen. It was higher than Obama, higher than Biden. 75% wrong track. The undecideds are over 80% wrong track. If they feel better about Trump, they'll vote for us. They'll fall in. If the negative campaign that the media and Kamala Harris want to run, to call him a racist and to say, just to attack him personally, to call him a crook, if they can divert away from the issues, we may not win those undecided voters because they're out there being undecided right now. So the difference is we have to focus on the issues, because among all voters right now, 64% say the economy is getting worse, not better.
Janine Pirro here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history. Physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Pirro for your free Janine Pirro Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit, or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 now to receive a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.
Now, I have this idea because Trump goes to these rallies, and they're great. But let's face it, he's preaching to the choir. He's preaching to the converted. I'm wondering if these things are even helpful at this point. Quite frankly, I have PTSD when I watch him. I'm like expecting him to get shot. I can't stand it, but that's what I'm waiting for, and I hate it. What about this? I've seen Trump in small groups. He did it during the 2020 RNC convention. Can you just kind of envision a moment? Instead of a great big rally, it's a small gathering. It's televised. You got 10 to 20, 30, 40 people in the room. It doesn't matter. Undecided voters. And Trump takes questions from them directly, not the media. They're just regular people. Nixon did something like this in 1968. It was brilliant. Roger Ailes produced it. Right. I feel like we need a change. I feel like we're wasting time sometimes with these things. And last thing, John, the convention was great, but I thought that Trump was giving not a general election message. It was too much geared toward us, the base. We're already voting for him. I want him to be talking to other people.
Well, by the way, for first thing, the message in the convention was so good, and the message was intersected with the base, plus was a broadening message, because you were talking about reducing inflation, growing the economy, stopping their tax cuts, et cetera. The second thing is the rallies. What they do is they help generate turnout for us. So you've got a lot of people that they're going to have these rallies indoors because of security now. But you've got, if 20,000 people can get into arena, you got 100,000 applying. We now know who they are. We can ask them to turn out their friends and neighbors for us. Because a good bit of this is still a turnout game. Because roughly 100 million people don't vote that are eligible. And we've got to get more of our people out than them. Your other suggestion about, the idea of a town hall, we've done those before, and meeting with regular voters. He excels in those forums, and I do hope they do more of those, and that is good advice. Our problem is we've got 95 days to go. We're a little ahead in a close race. I'd rather be ahead than behind. But for us, being ahead, like if you go to the Real Clear Politics average, they have us with 297 electoral votes.
Yeah. All right.
Like We'd like to get more, but we're going to work on winning Minnesota, work on winning Virginia, work on winning some of these other states to get over 300. But right now, we're ahead. They're coming at us. They're going to attack. We got to continue to counterattack.
Okay, they're going to attack. We're going to continue to counterattack. Mm-hmm. I mean, all right, that sounds reactive to me. Look, you're the pro. I don't know. I'm just one other thing here. When Trump walked into the NABJ, and he was totally right on the substance, I thought that questioner was appalling, rude, biased, and I do believe that Kamala Harris was this, that, and the other thing about a lot of things. She's a phony when it comes to even race. My question, though, about that is, somebody's been saying, I've heard this a lot. He's got to talk about the issues. He's got to talk about the issues. Nothing but the issues. Vivek Ramaswamy told me a week ago, he just has to talk about the issues. And the issues are fascinating. And it's not like it's dry stuff. Right. What about that? Every time he talks about Kamala, is that a mistake? You know what I'm saying here, right?
Well, he did talk about the issues at that forum, but it was an ambush. And the president takes risks. He goes into places that he shouldn't go. He went into the Bronx, gave a great speech. He goes to forums and events. He certainly goes to Michigan, talks to union workers. He goes, he has the head of the Teamsters talk at the Republican convention. So he does do things where we're broadening, but the media that doesn't like us, that likes Kamala Harris because they're radical, they turn to focus on other things. So, like yesterday, for example, President Trump spoke out about the Olympic boxer who beat up that woman, because transgender ideology and allowing men to play women's sports is an issue in the United States. And we spoke about it. Harris ignored it. And today, with the unemployment report, we're talking about we've got to protect jobs, lower interest rates, cut back inflation. And they're not talking about, Bidenomics today. We are. So we are trying to set the agenda that's best for Americans, that Americans care about and want to listen to. But, she probably wants to go back in the basement with Biden and hide for a little while.
Yeah.
So, but by the way, it is going to be a tough campaign because, she's bringing on board the people that got Barack Obama elected. They're smart people. We have to work even harder and be even smarter, and we have to run like we're losing every day because we want to win every day. But the underdog mentality, we've always had that. So
okay,
we're just going to keep working harder.
You're on top of it. I guess he is so he's so right for this country, mm-hmm. and the media have done nothing but lie about him. Nothing but lie. And so many people, he's a monster. They think he's a monster because they've been lied to. And I think if he has a direct conversation with them, talk directly to them. And I know he puts lines like this into his speech, and we all agree we want lower inflation. I'm not talking about tone. I'm talking about audience. If he's in front of another type of audience, I think something is going to come through. In fact, John, look, we've had you. I'm sorry to keep you so long, and thank you for listening to my kooky ideas. Maybe they're kooky, but I just want him to win, and I would feel guilty. I would feel bad if I'd rather make a fool out of myself with you guys than have an idea that might be good and keep it to myself, and I'd maintain my dignity and my popularity. But in the off chance that any of this stuff is helpful, I want to share it with people, okay?
It is helpful because what you were talking about is, for example, when you talk about inflation, Trump has a record. Inflation was less than 2% when he was president. Kamala Harris has a record. She cast a tie-breaking vote for Biden's $1.9 trillion in wasteful spending that triggered inflation in the U.S. So we've got to continue to draw that contrast between Trump's record of success and their record of failure and incompetence, and that's what the next 95 days are going to be about.
Awesome, John McLaughlin. Thank you, sir, very, very much. Great to talk again.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll keep talking.
Please.
Keep getting the truth out. We need you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. He's such a great guy. Thank you, John.